Hey everyone, today I'm coming to you with a review on the brand new Star Wars Black Series Axe Woves from the Mandalorian. Now this is a figure that I have been wanting for a decent amount of time now. Ever since we got the Bo-Katan and the Koska Reeves, we all knew that it was just a short amount of time before we would get him, and now we have him, and we got the team, and I do have to say I am fairly pleased with him. So without further ado, let's get into Axe Woves review. So besides Axe Woves and his gun, that's his only accessory, the only other thing we have to go over here is the box, and there isn't anything really huge to talk about here. It is the standard Galaxy packaging for the Mandalorian. He is number 25, Christmas. You can see an awesome image of him there. His bio reads, Axe Woves, a skilled warrior. Axe Woves is loyal to Bo-Katan and is a member of a band of Clan Kree's Mandalorians, striking back at the Imperial Remnant. Now, one thing that I didn't like about Mandalorian Season 2 is that he wasn't back for the finale. I thought he was so badass in Episode 3, and we just got Koska and Bo, which that was awesome, but I just thought he definitely would have shined in that finale episode, because that was one of the best Star Wars episodes I've ever seen, and I think it would have even been better with Axe Woves, but whatever. I'm sure we're going to see him again. There we have the amazing Simon Cass. Awesome actor, did a great job. Razor crest in the background, but other than that, not too much more to go over. It's the last wave with plastic free, or not plastic free, with plastic, and then we get the plastic free, which, if I'm being honest, I'm kind of used to by now, so that didn't take too long. Now, for Axe Woves himself, we all knew this was coming, not only from once we got Bo-Katan and Koska Reeves, but once we got the Death Watch Mandalorian, because if I bring him over here, as you can see, he is majority reuse from him. Now, the only new parts that I can see here, let's go from the feet up. That is the same. Holster appears to be the same, except the belt is different, because not only is the belt different, but there is this extra overlay piece that you can kind of take out, and that's what the torso looks like on the standard Death Watch Mandalorian, but it does just tuck under there, and that is accurate to the show, so that is a cool little extra to get. But other than that, there really isn't much difference here. I'm trying to see what else is different. Pretty much all the same. These backpacks, actually, backpacks. Did I really just call them backpacks? Jetpacks fall off really easy. That's one problem with it. But the thing is they're very similar in color. They're a little different, but whenever they fall off, I'm like, uh-oh. Does this one go with this one? Does this one go with this one? But I eventually figure it out. Now, back to the problem. This falls off way too much. That is my main problem with this figure. And trust you me, once I finish this review, I'm immediately going to grab my super glue. It is actually on standby because I didn't want to do that for the review, because I wanted to show you guys what it looked like and the problem. But it doesn't work. And it really makes the figure annoying to get around, because whenever I grab them, like, it just comes off very easily. So I don't plan on taking it off, and I don't plan on, or I don't think Disney plans on having him in the shows again without the jetpack. So I think it's going to be best if I just glue it on, and I should probably do that with the Death Watch Mandalorian too, because I know that was a problem with him as well. And then the other big thing with this figure is he does have the awesome Simon Cass head sculpt, as you can see there. In my opinion, that looks very, very accurate to the actor. You have some scuffs there. The hair looks great. And especially for a helmet that has to go over, they did a really good job with it. It doesn't really get in the way. Now, another small problem with the figure is the helmet is very, very loose. Very, very loose on there. So just keep that in mind, and it does squish around a bit. When it came out of the box, it was like this, so you kind of have to play around with it to get it back to the normal kind of look. And right now, I think it looks pretty good. I remember I watched, I think it was Lukeness Monster's review on this figure, and I remember he was saying something about the helmet, and after watching that, I was like, damn, that kind of like sours the figure. But now that I have this, I don't really know or remember what he was talking about, because this, to me, isn't too big of a deal. It might just be his was a little warped, but if yours comes out to be warped like his, and mine was a little warped, but not too bad, what I would suggest is either hot water or a hair dryer. Same thing happened with the Boba, but eventually it'll get back to the main shape. But the color scheme on this figure is really what stands out. I love the gunmetal gray, or the gunmetal kind of just color, silver looking, with all the just scuffs there, and the blue. it's just such a cool costume. I look at this Mandalorian costume, I was like, if I could have one Mandalorian costume, this is the one I would want to wear, because blue is, I'd say, my favorite color, and the gunmetal gray just looks really good. I don't know, is it gunmetal gray or just gunmetal? Because I think it's a little bit shiny. But other than that, I'm trying to see if there's anything else here. I got to mention, you can take the gun and put it in the holster here. Boom, and you can put the little thing over. I love that little detail. Go in, there we go. You can see his, not accessories, but his arm weapons. I don't know exactly what they're called, flamethrowers. They look great. Pouches look great, but other than that, I don't think there's too much more to go over, except the jetpack continuously falling off. So let's get into Axe Woves articulation. Quickly, before I get into the articulation, I didn't mention that you can plug in any, or port in any of the Black Series rocket effects from like the Dark Trooper or Boba Fett. They work very well. These are the Dark Trooper ones. They come out a little easier than the Boba Fett ones, but they still do the job. Well, now for the articulation, I think I'm going to take the head off. The head goes up, or the helmet off. Head goes up that much, down, side, full 360, and you do get that extra neck joint, which does make the movement a little more agile. There, you can see that right there. Very good movement there. And another piece of advice to keep in mind is this line, just keep on the back as it goes down the torso right there, as you can see. And then the arms go out that much. There is a butterfly joint, so you get that range, which is pretty good. And the shoulder pad, or the pauldron, can rotate full 360, can it? Or am it can't. It cannot, actually. So, as you can see, it can go, how far here? It can go like that. That's the extent of the movement, which is good enough. There's nothing wrong with that. But the arms go out that much, down, full 360. Shoulder pad doesn't get in the way, although I'm scared they might rip, and that would be a tragedy. But the elbows go in about 90 degrees. Down, there is rotation here, and that goes on both sides. Then this hand is on a horizontal hinge, so up, down, full 360, while this hand is on the vertical hinge, up, down, full 360. Ab crunch goes forward, not that much, back a little bit, side, full 360, legs kick forward that much, back, split, upper thigh cut, single jointed knee goes in 90, and then the ankle, not the greatest movement going up, goes up that much, down, and ankle rocker pivot. I don't know what it is with these Mandalorians having bad ankles. It was the same thing on this one. As you can see, it only goes up that much, which is essentially nothing. But that is the articulation on the Axe Woves. So let's get on to the comparisons. This is awesome. So here we have the Bo-Katan and the Costco Reeves next to the Axe Woves. And I guess let's take the helmets off here so you can see what they look like. The helmets off. Boom. And boom. I got another Bo-Katan. I found her at Walmart for clearance for like, I think it was either $12 or $15, which is a good deal. But that all looks very good. And to be honest, I know those legs are technically inaccurate. She's supposed to have some form of boots. It doesn't bother me. I still love this figure. And that likeness is, it's good. Better close up. I do like the likeness though. But for some other comparisons, quickly here, let's put the helmet back on. I do want to show him next to the Death Watch Mandalorian. That looks pretty good. Here we have the Walmart exclusive Clone Wars Mandalorian. This is so outdated by now. Here we have just a normal Mandalorian. Well, not normal. There's the Maldo Kryze or Maldo Kryze Mandalorian. There's a Dark Trooper, which I wish we would have got to see him fight, maybe in the next season of Mandalorian. Here's a Remnant Stormtrooper. He did get to fight a decent amount of Stormtroopers. That was such a sick episode. Season 2 of Mandalorian, I think, is one of my favorite just series or seasons of anything Star Wars. And there's Boba Fett next to him. And then the last comparison, which I do think is pretty important, is mini Axe Woves. And this helmet is terrible. Just look at that thing. It is massive. It's just huge. It's like almost, not exactly, but you get my point. I think the likenesses are really good on these. I might say that, I was going to say the TVC one's better, but I don't know. I think they're both equally good, but they both get the job done very well. And I love getting the TVC one and the Black Series one to just, it's a dad and son. It's Simon and Simon Jr. there. that looks very good. But now, let's get on to my final thoughts. So for my final thoughts on this Axe Woves figure, I think it is awesome. I think Hasbro did a very good job on it. There really wasn't too much that could have gone wrong. It's essentially just a reuse of a very, very good body that is brand new. So there isn't really too much to go wrong there. There's a couple things that are new, but it is essentially reuse. But if you want a really badass looking Mandalorian on your shelf, I would really recommend this. And especially if you want to complete the Bo-Katan and the Casca reused team, or the Night Owls, whatever the team is called. Certainly, it's not a necessity to the Black Series collection. Nothing really is on the grand scheme of things, but it definitely would stand out in the collection, especially with that color scheme. And that is all I really have to say about this piece. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Please let me know what you think of this figure in the comments below, as always. And I will see you in my next video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys. The rangefinder goes up and down, by the way. I didn't mention that.